What's going on, guys, and welcome back to my basement. My name is BouseFeenux, and this is Going Analog, basically a show about board games for video gamers. And today, I've got something pretty special for you guys. This is one of my favorite games, and I haven't done a video on it yet, but I wanted to share this one with you. It's called Ascension, and essentially what Ascension is it's what's called a deck building game. And this is kind of an all-encompassing game that is put into a box that's non-collectible. If you buy the box, you get everything you need to play the game, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. This game is actually designed by Justin Garrity and Rob Doherty and Brian Kibler. These guys are Magic Pro Tournament touring guys. If you guys play Magic the Gathering, I'm sure you've heard those names before, but this was a all-encompassing, self-contained deck-building game made for 2 to 4 players. It plays in about 30 minutes, and it's published by Stoneblade Games. So there's a lot of expansions and different versions of this game out right now. This is the very first one. This is Edition 3, and it used to be called Ascension Chronicles of the Godslayer. So if you try to Google it, you may have a hard time finding it, but just search Ascension Chronicles of the Godslayer. This is the first game. It's got all the base mechanics. This right here is the expansion to this one. And the cool thing about these games is you actually can play these by themselves. Even the expansions are self-contained. If you want 6 players, because the base game only plays up to 4, but if you want 6 players, then you can add this to it and you have room for another 2. By itself, this little box just plays 2 players, and pretty much every big expansion has a little one to go with it. And they've got a lot of these out right now, including some really cool collector's boxes. So enough rambling, let's go ahead and pop these bad boys open. And let me show you, like, this game has some of my favorite components of any card game, you know, board game that I own. So first of all, it comes with a sweet looking Ouija board. I mean, not Ouija board. It's a playing board. You know, it's pretty cool. It's got some great art on it, and every game has a unique one that is unique to it. So every box is going to have a unique board in it. You don't need the board to play necessarily. Like you notice this one, you'll see in a second, this one actually doesn't come with a board. It just comes with the cards that you need to play and the rule book and the honor gems. So the rule book's really cool. The game is super simple to learn. It doesn't have a very high learning curve, but it can be deep and it can be rewarding. There's a lot of strategy to it if you calm down, okay? Just relax. There's a lot of strategy to it if you want to get in and really learn how to play the game. Deck builders are very common. There's a lot of them out there, and they're a lot of fun to play. And once you it's like learning how to play a first-person shooter. Once you learn how to play one deck builder, you can pretty much pick up just about any other one. And the mechanics will be slightly different from game to game, but you can pretty much figure it out. It's not super difficult. So let me show you some of the components here. I'm going to lay them out and just, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to set the game up as how it would be played. So you pretty much just have your deck right here, and this is all the stuff you're going to buy from. Alright, as you can see, I mean, I'll show you some card art here in a second. I'll probably take my other camera and move it over everything while I'm talking about this. That is a note to myself. Anyway, so you start with a basic deck. You've got some weenie cards that aren't very good. You get a 10-card deck. Let me make sure that's 10. I can't count today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I was close. I was close for like shotgunning that. Anyway, so you get everybody gets the same 10 cards. You get these apprentices and you get militia. So those two types of cards right there, that's going to be your starting deck. You would draw 5 cards. You shuffle this up first. You draw 5. And then you take your turn. So what you're going to be doing, the whole objective of this game, and what you're trying to do here, is you're trying to get these honor tokens, these little gems here, and these are essentially points that count towards winning the game. Now, you're going to be fighting stuff. This is called the lineup or the center row, or every deck builder has a different name for this. I usually just call it the lineup. That's just a common term in deck builders. So you're going to be fighting monsters, you're going to be buying different spells, and the cool thing about this game is there are factions. So you have different factions, you can create synergies. So if you're a fan of Warframe, for instance, and you like customization and building and stuff like that, and you like, and that's why people like Warframe a lot, is, they're building, mod setups and stuff like that. And in this, you're kind of doing something very similar. You're creating a deck of cards to play the game as you play the game. And that's typically the moniker of a deck builder and how they work, which I think is really interesting because I don't like pre-constructed stuff. You'll go into a game and, you know, somebody has their decks stacked and it's all min-maxed and everything like that. But with this, it's like a roguelike, almost like Binding of Isaac, where you're presented with items. I don't know if you guys have played Binding of Isaac, but each level you're presented with an item, and you have a choice. Either take that item and have it contribute towards your build, or be really greedy and just take everything that comes at you, and then, you know, your build is all over the place. But this allows you to min-max and kind of tweak your deck as you're playing the game. So it forces you to really think on your feet and work with what's available to you, which I think is really cool, because then there's really no excuse. Everybody's on the same level playing field. You know, you only have what's in front of you here in this lineup. Every time you buy something or kill a monster, so like Avatar of the Fallen, I could kill him, he goes into the void, and I get a reward for destroying him. Something else comes out, oh, it's an item, I buy that, I put it in my deck, and then I get to play with it the next time that I shuffle my cards. So really awesome game here. A lot of fun moments I've had with this game. It's terribly awesome. It's very addicting, and there are so many variations that you can play with this game. There's actually, I think, from what I've heard, I haven't actually played it before, but there is a single player mode, and, you know, this is one of those games that plays really well with 2 people or even up to 6. I mean, it's one of those games that you can sit around, drink beer, eat pretzels, you know, and not really pay that much attention to and just play, or you can really get serious about it and play to win. So it kind of has both of those things going for it, and you would think designed by, you know, some Magic the Gathering pros and stuff like that, it'd be a lot more hardcore and have a much higher learning curve. It really doesn't, man. This is the game. This is one of those games, like I have several games that I take to people that have never played board games before. This is one of them. It's got a really cool art style. It's very engaging. The cards look beautiful. It's got some really simple mechanics. It's very straightforward. Essentially, you can buy things on your turn. You know, you can fight things, and you build your deck. It doesn't really get much simpler than that. And then, of course, you do what your cards say. And it's pretty much that easy. So if I was going to recommend this game, this being a review show, I would have to say absolutely. No-brainer. The cards are really well designed. They're super sturdy. I would like to sleeve these eventually, but the game comes with so many cards that it's really hard to. Like, there's still stuff left in the box, and then I've got expansions too. I would love to sleeve this game. I would love to really take care of it. The boards you get are extremely high quality, and they're totally unnecessary. Like, you don't even have to play with these, but the fact that they included these are pretty awesome. The one glaring point, though, is the price point of the game. It's a little on the expensive side for a card game. I think these base sets here, these big boxes, these are $40, which still isn't bad, but there's a lot of other deck builders you can get out there that you can get a lot of the same experience out of for about $15. And I'll probably do some of those on the show. If you guys are interested in seeing some of those games, let me know in the comments. Tell me what you think. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, for the price point, I feel like, you know, the game could be a little bit more than it is, but for what you get, I think what you're paying for here is the art. The art of the game, the quality of the game, and the names behind it. So you're not going to be disappointed if you decide to drop $40 on it. Even these little guys, these little boxes are $30, so they're only $10 less. So I honestly recommend just getting the big one, unless you get one of these big ones and you like it so much and you have a group of 6 people, you want to get the expansion so you can play more. But the cool thing is, any of these games can be combined into one. You can take anything from any set. They all have the same card back, so it's really cool how you can do that. So they're backwards compatible, essentially, to kind of put it in like gamers terms for you. But I think that's a really cool feature. I think for $40, you're not going to get a better deck builder. This, to me, is the standard of a deck building game. This is what I compare all my other deck building games to. And it's a very high standard, very high quality game. I really enjoy it. But guys, that's going to do it for me today. Again, I'm BouseFeenux. This is Going Analog, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did and you want to see more board game videos like this, leave a comment. Tell me what you want to see. Don't forget to like the video for more of this kind of content. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. I do a lot of Warframe content. I do a lot of board game content, and that's the direction that I want to take my channel in. Recently, we just hit 10,000 subscribers, so that's very exciting. I really appreciate you guys being along for the ride and supporting me through this journey. And I can't wait to see where we go next. But until next time, guys, peace out, have a good one, and happy gaming.